Good morning, RC hobbyists, although it may be the afternoon or even the evening when you're watching this. But it's a beautiful day, overcast, which I love, no sunshine. And we got the Poizd rig out today because one of you guys was like, hey man, what happened to the Poizd truck? It's been a while. And I was like, you know, it really has been. I'm getting myself into trouble here. I actually drove it the other day on this trail, which if you know, you know. This is what I call around the horn. It's a trail that takes us up this V-notch onto this edge and then over and around. But I was driving this the other day and my darn phone kept running out of storage. So I was like, nah, screw it. And then I ended up taking out my class 1 style rig for my last video. So we pulled the Poizd back out, and let's talk about it. So honestly, I've been looking back and I really haven't had that many videos on this truck, which is crazy because like this thing is freaking awesome. I don't know why I haven't posted as much on it. But one of my favorite things that I've done to this truck is putting these worn out 1.9 crawlers. These things have so much traction. They just have a single stage foam in them, but they have a ton of traction and they lower the center of gravity, which is awesome. The width of these axles is giving us trouble here. There we go. And dude, they made a big difference when I put these on. So let's talk about other aspects of this rig. Obviously, it's 4-wheel steer. We just have a stock servo. I think it's from a Capra, actually. From the 4-wheel steer Capra. Stock servo on there. Ooh, let's get up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is from off a Capra. Up in the front, ooh, we're real tippy. This is where those single stage foams are not doing us any favors. Oh, and it's wanting to roll. Let's see if we can. Oh, we are in a load of trouble. Oh, about to drop my phone. We are in a world of trouble. Wow. Okay, we're having to take a reset on that. We would have gone down. I wasn't being very careful driving from the bottom. Okay. Let's get back into this. So stock servo on the rear. What do we got up front? Oh, you can hear it. We got a Servos servo on the front, man. Those things are so loud. Like a Monster, Servos Monster was my first like aftermarket good servo. And it's strong. So I was like, man, Servos is awesome. But then I got a Shift servo. And that one was a direct power. And I was like, dude, this thing is so quiet. There we go. I was like, this thing is so much quieter than the Servos servo. So now, like, I would never buy another Servos servo just because they are so loud. It's kind of annoying. Okay, but what else we got? We got Capra axles from off of the RTR Capra. So still plastic housings. Ooh. We've got my favorite shock setup. and that is the Traxxas 2660 big bores, and 100% Cameron from Desert RC helped me to tune these shocks for the first time, and it was actually on my Corrupt Carbon Works Reaper build, and I've just loved them. Use them on the majority of my rigs because the length is perfect. It gives you a tire's amount of articulation, and it gives, like, they're just so smooth. They don't leak. I love them. And then you throw Desert RC makes some LCG shock cups, and you put those at the base, and you get a nice low center of gravity shock setup that works just really, really nicely. Other things, okay. My wife called, she's the best. All right, anyways. So that's shocks, that's servos, that's axles. We've talked about the tires, 1.9 crawlers, and Predator compound with just some cheap Amazon beadlock wheels. Like, I tell you what, that obstacle right there is not easy. That is not easy, and this thing just made it look like chump change. Like, this is such a good rig. It really is. It's almost like, for all the trails that I do out here, I was like, man, I need to find something more challenging. Like, that's honestly what I told my wife when I installed these tires, and you can go watch the video of my first run. I installed these wheels and tires and was like, that was so easy. It just crawled everything. So, like, this is an awesome setup. I'm not gonna say the best, but the thumbnail did. No, I mean, there's so many ways to run a rig, and that's what makes this hobby fun, right? But yeah, this setup works really well. I've got the deluxe Portal Trans with a Fury Tech Komodo something. Yeah, it's like the Fury Tech Komodo 2 Revolver ESC combo something, I don't know. And this is my first outrunner that I've ever used, and this setup does pretty well. I had the Holmes. Oh my gosh, you guys lost the angle because I was panicking, but we about went tumbling, and that's where it would have took us. That was scary. I had a Holmes V3, like a 1800 kV motor or something, and I just did not like that at all. It may have been something else, but I had binding issues and cogging and all sorts of nonsense. So I really like this setup. It does pretty well for an outrunner motor. My preference is a Fusion 2-in-1. Those are always my go-to, but this setup does pretty well. A little too cautious on that, ended up rolling it, so let's hit that line again. Yeah, that's funny. Like, when I'm right here and not nervous that it's gonna tumble, like, that wasn't even an obstacle. Well, look at that. That was so fast because this rig is so awesome. I didn't even have time to make it through explaining all the parts on this thing. So here's some bonus lines while we keep talking. We've got rubber bands to hold down the front shocks. Nothing fancy here. One of these days I should invest in some D's bands, but right now I'm being too cheap. So I have to deal with the issues of snapping the rubber bands and having to replace them and all that nonsense. Let's see, obviously we got brass up front, and I always go for cheap and heavy. That's how I like it. Cheap and heavy. So that's what we got by way of brass on the front end. Let's talk some internals. So we've got just an Amazon drive shaft. I did not do the transfer. No, what's it called? You guys are thinking it. What's the thing that connects right here? And then it lets your drive shaft come straight up and then dive down. Dang, I really can't think of what that is. I want to say transfer case, but that's not right. I opted to not do that because there's already so much clearance. Like, look at that. With the double bent Mike Chew links, like, my drive shaft barely ever gets in the way of anything. I mean, it does hit, but a lot of where it's hitting is, I don't know, it's down there right where it's connecting anyway. So I haven't noticed it hurting me any more than, like, really what hurts is it gets caught on the pumpkin, and the new Capra axles where they don't have it all rough right there would make a big difference. But yeah, I don't have one of those. And let's see, Fury Tech Python, is that what I said? Okay, moving forward, we do have brass here to get the weight bias. We're over 60/40 for sure. Just cheap beadlock wheels, single stage foams. This is my 3D printed and designed by yours truly. Like, this was all my design. Body mount. You got a little 2-piece here, which works really well. If you take a spill, it'll pop off, but otherwise, like, it just clips in so easily. On the rear, I just used some little airplane servo horns to connect the back, and dude, that's pretty much it. I think that's it. Let me know if you guys have any questions, but otherwise, that's the Poizd rig. Thanks for watching.